Hey everybody, it's Trags alongside Josue Pavone once again of WEEI and CLNS Media. Josue, the Celtics, did what they had to do in game number 5, beating the Cleveland Cavaliers 96-83. It was not pretty. One of the things that really sticks out to me about this Celtics win is it was all about grit. It's something that Ty Lue said his team, his Cleveland Cavaliers, didn't have enough of, and certainly the Celtics, who shot just 36 of 85, 36%, or 31 of 85, 36% on the night, got through this game not shooting the ball well. It was Jason Tatum really taking over when they needed it.
And it also came down to defense, right, Trags? That fourth quarter, I mean,
absolutely.
5 consecutive stops. 5 consecutive defensive stops made all the difference in that fourth quarter. And obviously having a double-digit cushion makes life a lot easier for the Celtics team. That's exactly what happened. 2 of those turnovers happened against, or 2 of those defensive stops, let's just say, happened against LeBron James. Obviously, that's their guy they turn to save them out of that, double-digit hole that they were in the fourth quarter. And the Celtics just clamped down defensively and made life very, very hard for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Let's focus on Jason Tatum because he made some big-time NBA playoff history, passing Magic Johnson and Wilt Chamberlain and moving into 4th place for all-time playoff scoring by a rookie in his first year in the NBA.
It's unbelievable stuff, Trags. I mean, you look at someone who just not only has the confidence to go out there and produce, offensively, but also just makes the Cleveland Cavaliers very uncomfortable to try to guard him. It felt like they were throwing multiple guys at him in transition. He's just blowing past his defenders. And I just feel like at the end of the day, the Cleveland Cavaliers just didn't have an answer for him. And we've been saying that throughout this entire postseason, it feels like, whether it's one game against Philadelphia, another game against the Milwaukee Bucks. But tonight in particular, he just looked special. There were moments where, when LeBron was on the bench, he was easily the best player on the floor and just commanded so much attention from the Cleveland Cavaliers, proving why he is not only a top 3 rookie in this league, but a superstar in the making.
And Jason Tatum, after the game, took it in stride like he always seems to. Remember, this kid is 20 years of age in his rookie year, and he's not fazed in the least by the big stage. Celtics are 1 game away from their first trip to the NBA Finals since 2010, and he just is like another day at the beach.
It's like he said before, this is just basketball. In his eyes, it's just something that he's been, playing for quite some time. He feels very comfortable here. He's learned a lot throughout this postseason. That question was brought up after the game. A lot of coaches like to say, when you're this deep into the playoffs, you're no longer a rookie. But for Jason Tatum, this entire run in the postseason has been a learning experience, and now he's in a point where he feels so comfortable out there that he just seems damn near unstoppable, and that's exactly one of those games we saw here tonight here at TD Garden.
It really is something to behold. Let's talk about the grit one more time of this Celtics team. We saw it in the first half. Marcus Morris always knows how to push the buttons. We saw it in game number 2 here in Boston when he got in the face of Tristan Thompson. We saw it again tonight on an alley-oop from LeBron James to Larry Nance Jr. It was Morris kind of giving a nudge to Larry Nance Jr. out of bounds. He says something to Larry Nance, and Nance goes after him, pushes him in the back. Terry Rozier comes out of nowhere, picks up a ill-conceived technical foul, but still, that is the kind of grit you like to see. Sometimes Marcus Morris pushes the limits a little bit, and I think Brad Stevens might get a little nervous there. But all of that being said, the Celtics are coming out showing that they are the physically and mentally tougher team than Cleveland right now.
Yeah, Brad Stevens sprinted over there real quick, Trags.
Sure did.
This happened in front of the Cleveland Cavaliers bench, and Stevens was there. I think it was like T-minus 4 seconds, it seemed like. But yeah, that's just what Marcus Morris does. He's a gritty guy. He really gets under people's skin, and I just think this team really has had it with him. I think
in hockey, he's an agitator.
Yes, that's a great way. That's exactly what he is for this team, and I think heading into the postseason, we knew that he could do that. But we didn't know that he was going to piss off this team this much. I mean, I don't understand why Nance got so mad. Again, I don't even know what he said. However, still, I mean, listen, you get banged up in the playoffs. We've seen that throughout this series. It gets physical. I didn't think it was that tough of a foul.
It's not the foul. Mind you, watch the replay. It's what Morris said. Very much similar, actually in a very similar location to what happened with Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And Terry Rozier, shout out to Rozier getting in there, not afraid to, to defend his teammate. And that's exactly, that close-knit, tight group that we've seen throughout the regular season, throughout the postseason, come, right in front of your eyes. Whereas the Cleveland Cavaliers, it just seemed like, I mean, I don't know, not to say that he had to have been there, but where was LeBron? Trags. You know, I don't know. I don't want to go down this road where like, oh, LeBron doesn't care about, you know, defending his teammates. But I was kind of surprised to not see him in the middle of that type of, you know, friction, which we've seen him do in the past. Really get his guys back. It was nowhere to be found.
That's a great point, Josue, and we will finish up on LeBron. Many reports after the game that he looked tired. A lot of tweeting of different camera shots of him on the bench looking very fatigued. And he was asked, his coach was asked after the game by Tara Sullivan on the Boston Globe, did you think LeBron was tired? Yeah, I thought he was tired. Ty Lue was very upfront, and LeBron asked about that same situation, said, I had my moments. He says he's not feeling ill, under the weather. He just had his moments. Your thoughts on LeBron maybe taking on too much of the burden at this point and wearing himself down?
I'm tired of carrying these guys, what LeBron James really wanted to say, Trags. It's in his mind.
You think so?
I honestly do think so. I think he was waiting for that game where everyone to collectively produce offensively. We saw it, of course, a little bit, especially in Game 3 when the series shifted over to Cleveland. But this game, we didn't see it. You know, I should say collectively, we saw that from the second unit. They scored over 30 points, which a lot, you know, considering what we've seen from the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's quite a bit. Brad Stevens brought that up. But I just think when it comes down to it, late game execution, fourth quarter execution, it's sort of like, hey, LeBron, get us out of this mess. And where the Celtics had that double-digit cushion, I just think the Cleveland Cavaliers seem to disappear unless LeBron James goes off and does one of his, 16, 18-point quarters. That wasn't the case tonight. So obviously he was fatigued. He's not going to flat out say it. I just think he's a little bit frustrated with this team. Of course, he'll take it game by game. He'll go into Game 6 with a different mindset. I don't think this mindset will carry over, but I think in this game he was just frustrated with his teammates and their overall production.
All right, the Celtics have a chance on Friday night in Cleveland to close it out and advance to the NBA Finals. Can they do what they did in 2008 when they closed it out in Detroit in game number 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals? Be sure to stay tuned to CLNS Media, and CLNSmedia.com will have you covered. I'll be on site at Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, giving you complete coverage before, during, and after the game on Friday night. We'll have you covered on Twitter as well, at Celtics CLNS, as well as my own personal account at Trags, Trags. The Celtics get it done again in game number 5 behind the 24 points of Jason Tatum. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 96-83 inside TD Garden. He is Josue Pavone. I'm Mike Petralia, CLNS Media.